Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. And here in today's video, my friends, we're going to talk about something very real that should be of concern to every single one of you in regards to your future XRP profit taking. They might not let you sell your XRP when you want to sell your XRP, my friends. And this is extremely important you're aware of. Jake Claver, an XRP community member, believes that if XRP goes parabolic, many people may not be able to sell at the price they expect because there won't be enough liquidity on public exchanges. And that is absolutely true. Institutions buy OTC, more XRP keeps leaving exchanges, and market orders could suffer heavy slippage. And this is a reality a lot of people in the retail community don't understand. The more you think about it, the more he has a big point. Everyone is obsessed with the large price, but very few are thinking about their exit strategy in reality. Planning ahead and using limit orders could end up being just as important as picking the right price. And as Jake Claver says, when we see major price action come for XRP, there's uncomfortable news for all of you to be aware of. A lot of exchanges won't have the liquidity to let you exit at market value. And with the supply shock, institutional buyers dominate OTC, and retail will get stuck fighting for exposure through ETFs and DATs. Everyone wants to believe their XRP bag is going to make them rich overnight, while they do nothing differently. Well, I'm here to tell you that without custody, tax strategy, and wealth infrastructure before the liquidity event, you'll fumble generational wealth, and this is 100% true. Most lottery winners go broke, and most crypto millionaires will join them. Being able to keep your newfound wealth comes with preparation for what utility-driven price discovery will actually look like, and I 100% agree. You see, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing wrong here with what is being said. There are meme coin investors that made millions on paper on meme coins appreciating in value, but there's no liquidity for them to be able to sell and actually make the millions of dollars. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with XRP, but what I am saying is that something monumental could come for XRP, and there could be a shock in terms of price that makes it extremely hard to sell your positions when you want to sell your positions. This is something you cannot ignore. You have to be aware of. And this may be the biggest problem XRP holders face in the future. It's not that we don't see price appreciation. It's that you might not be able to profit take at these higher levels. It's nobody's fault but the infrastructure we're given. And they do this on purpose to cock block people from actually making true money. That's why I recommend what I recommend. And in my next video, I'm going to give every single one of you one of the most important tools you will ever need in regards to making sure this never happens to you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have something very special to share from Tony at Thinking Crypto. Stellar's Danelle Dixon was over here discussing why organizations like FTDA, the DTCC, and Wisdom Tree trust Stellar. We've been preparing for adoption since before institutions started exploring blockchain integration. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because many people view Stellar as a replacement to XRP, where in reality, Stellar is a derivative of XRP. Stellar is XRP's little brother, and it was created to help support XRP in its overall long-term price appreciation journey. All tides will rise with Ripple and XRP adoption. Stellar's DTCC news recently sent its price up exponentially for a day or two, and now it's retraced. But Ripple, XRP, Stellar, XLM, they move in tandem together in explosive movements. They have the same use case. And we're going to see massive price appreciation for these coins at the exact right moment. You don't believe me? Doesn't matter. This is the reality we're all going to experience.
Why do you think these institutions trust Stellar so much?
It's a great question. And I think it's because Stellar was built with asset issuance and payments in mind. That was from the inception of Stellar. We built for institutions. We built for them even when they weren't here. We really focused on all of those things that institutions would need to be able to have their regulated assets to some extent, and even the unregulated assets on Stellar. You want clawback functionality and freezing and the ability to really control when KYC happens with respect to your assets. And that was all built in at the base layer for Stellar from the inception and improved upon throughout the years. And really, this is what regulated institutions need to be able to put securities on a blockchain. They want to be able to move their books and records there, but they can't do that unless they're able to control these assets in similar ways that they do in the traditional world. And so I think that because we built for those institutions, from day one, and we thought about those institutions as sort of the customer, one of the customers, because when you think about payments, then you take those assets and then you can do things with them. I think that that's why Stellar gets the attention and gets the lion's share of these institutions that want to be able to take these assets to the market.
Now there, ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw was Stellar letting all of you know why the demand is there. Every single one of you needs to know that this use case that Ripple, XRP, Stellar, XLM have been diving into is highly sought after. This technology is in high demand, and it's not going to stop. Now, something very important that is a massive market signal for every single one of you is that the House just advanced a bill barring sitting Congress members from buying stocks. I have often stated that when this stock ban bill becomes law, that is going to be the top of the stock market. Why? Because it is going to be a legal distraction, a legal excuse for politicians who are part of the classes to sell on you while they crash the stock market shortly thereafter. This is not self-righteous wealth preservation. This is not insider trading stoppage. This is their exit plan to dump on the masses. And we see the global market signal right now of the reverse carry trade, Bank of Japan, and the Japanese yen collapsing as the market signal that we need to see of the inevitable collapse. Japan is entering one of the most dangerous economic phases in decades. The Bank of Japan is now open to raising interest rates faster than markets expected, and that may sound like a normal central bank decision, but it's not, as Japan's economy is trapped between three problems that are getting worse every time. The yen has fallen above 163 yen per dollar, its weakest level since 1986. A weaker yen makes imports like energy, food, and raw materials more expensive, pushing inflation even higher. Second, Japan's government debt is climbing to around 240% of GDP, the highest in the developed world. Every rate hike increases government's borrowing costs, making that debt even harder to manage. And finally, the government's attempts to stop the yen are becoming less effective. Japan spent 11.7 trillion Japanese yen in order to defend its currency earlier this year, yet the yen quickly resumed its decline. Markets are starting to believe intervention alone is no longer enough. That leaves the BOJ with two difficult choices: raise rates faster, risking more stress in Japanese bond markets and higher debt servicing costs, or keep rates low, allowing the yen to weaken further and inflation to become more deeply embedded into the economy. Neither outcome is good. Markets already see a 72% probability of another rate hike by October, and if it matters, far beyond Japan. This will have ripple effects throughout the entire global economy, as for decades, ultra-low Japanese interest rates have funded the yen carry trade, which has grown to over $4 trillion. And the last time the BOJ unexpectedly tightened policy in August 2024, that trade started to unwind. Within 3 days, Korea, Bitcoin, the S&P, Japan, Asian markets all fell profoundly. Bitcoin fell 24%, S&P fell 8%. If the BOJ is forced to move fast again while investors remain heavily exposed to the carry trade, the next shock will not start in the US, it'll start in Japan. And this is why this is so important. This is why Yoshitaka Kitao and SBI in Japan being one of the first to have implemented fully battle tested XRP is not coincidental. The reverse carry trade is happening in real time. And this is why I still believe that there is a pullback left, despite the fact that people like BC Backer are calling for the fact that a bottoming structure appears to have formed in the crypto space. I believe that TA is sound. However, we have this macro piece of information here that could negatively affect markets aside from crypto fundamentals. Here, Japan will take bold action if the yen keeps falling, and more intervention is being expected. It is because of this I think a quick market crash can happen, not because I think the crypto market is weak, but just a flash crash to scare investors because of the macro. But ultimately, and I have to say this, we are moments away from a profound crypto bull market. I just think that one final flash crash is left before we completely take off. The XRP reset button is Article 589 of Japan's Civil Code, which governs interest on loans for consumption. Japanese lenders can refuse to roll over yen loans to foreigners. This risks forcing carry trade borrowers to repay, sell assets, and buy yen, which accelerates the reverse carry unwind. Japanese banks stop rolling yen loans as over-leveraged carry traders forced to repay. They dump assets to buy yen. Prices crash, margins calls cascade, fire sales and liquidity squeezes hit the most leveraged institution the hardest. And as the dominoes fall where they may, at the end of the day, it is XRP to the moon, my friends. This is what's happening in real time. As at the same time, Bitcoin and Bitcoin treasury companies like Michael Saylor's, like Mark Moss's, like Jake Muller's are failing. And that's not coincidental. It is the final step of the crypto market pivoting from Bitcoin leading the way to pivoting to XRP being the king. The DTCC is live. Ripple Prime is ready. RLUSD is gaining utility. RWAs, tokenized assets, are the future. And the future is XRP. As here, to cap off this video for today, our big event in the crypto space that we're waiting for is the potential passing of the Clarity Act. As Senator Cynthia Lummis says, the Clarity Act's ethics provisions applies to every White House member, senator, federal judge, congressman, not just the president and VP. This is the language they want to put in for the crypto market before they pass this bill. We have an August recess here on standby, just a couple days away. Are they going to pass the Clarity Act before then, or is the Clarity Act going to be delayed again? They are using the Clarity Act news as a potential manipulation event to either crash the market or full send the market. Being a 10-year crypto vet gives me that crypto spidey sense to know that they're about to cause volatility in the market one way or another. Every scenario has been discussed on this channel every single day. And ladies and gentlemen, we are better prepared than 99.99% of the planet for this specific economic moment in time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. If you aren't doing so already, please email me in my email down below if you're interested to my one-on-one VIP mentorship, where I take you and guide you to prepare for mass profit taking during the crypto bull market we're about to experience. It's times like this in the market cycle where I can most help people make the most amount of money. Not when everything's up 100%, 1,000%, or even more. It's times like now. An ounce of prevention beats a pound of cure. And being prepared is your number one superpower in crypto. If you're interested in my mentorship, please email me with your name and phone number down in my email below. And now, guys, without further ado, listen to Cynthia Loomis break down what we're waiting for with the Clarity Act.
Let me get your take on that, because it seems like you're going to have to even make more concessions on the language around ethics to secure the Democrat support, right? Because, look, you had several Democrats last night voicing concerns about the updated text, particularly around the bill's enforcement mechanism. That places responsibility on the Attorney General. Is that the issue right now?
That is kind of a bright line. You know, we had worked until there was an impasse with Democrats earlier this month because they want state attorneys general to be able to sue elected officials that are subject to this ethics law. And so that would allow, for example, an attorney general from another state to sue me if they thought I violated the ethics law. So when I ran that by senators, they said, we don't want that. And so this ethics provision is not just applicable to the president and the vice president. It's applicable to every House member, every senator, and every federal judge. So we're trying to not plan legislation around one person who holds one office for the next 2 years, but rather over time that will serve the House, the Senate, the judiciary, and the executive branch in a fair way. The struggle is, of course, a lot of Democrats are absolutely focused on one person, and that's President Trump. So since President Trump actually agreed that he would have the choice to either put his assets in a blind trust or divest of his participation in digital assets and companies that derive revenue from digital assets, somehow that's not enough. I think it's going to be a struggle. Fortunately, Tom Tillis is working with Democrats to continue to try to find a way that they could support the ethics provisions in this bill. But it's hard for me to see it right now because they're so focused on getting a pound of flesh from President Trump.